Hi, welcome to the Creative Hand Art Journal. I'm Jill Langdon, and it's Happy Indigenous People Day today. And I've decided I'm going to paint a garden, which Indigenous people only had vegetables in theirs, and I'm actually going to be doing my fall garden. I have hyacinths that were delivered yesterday, and I plan to plant those this afternoon. And chrysanthemums are a favorite perennial annual flower in New England, and I have still to go and purchase some, but that's alright. There's still plenty of time. My garden is in front of a stone wall, which is beside our driveway. So when I drive in, I'll be able to see my garden right off and revel in its beauty. So the garden also kind of walls off this little piece of woods. So it's kind of separating civilized area compared to wild indigenous area. So right now I'm adding in, like, there's some maples in here and some other wildlife and wild colors and trees and pine trees, and using real red and also just Tangelo orange. These are apple barrel craft paints, really inexpensive, and just dabbing the color on right now. And today I heard a story of how the civilized people went into the Amazons and tried to civilize a tribe there. I forget exactly the name of that tribe, but it's a modern day one that you'd be surprised to know that there are still places that have not been civilized by our culture. At least I was surprised. And told the story, and it sounds just like the story of what happened in Massachusetts with the Plymouth and Samoset trying to come in and be the interpreter of the group and trying to get everybody to be friendly. So wasn't a pretty picture. A lot of thieving, stealing, killings. The whole sermon basically said that people are people, and we all do what we all do because we are human beings. And I'm sitting there thinking, yes, that is so true. So this right now is the savage part of my yard, where there are baby maple trees starting up, other bushes, and pine trees. So now I had used the Tangelo orange, flamenco red, real green, and actually some lime green for my wooded area. And now I'm going to work on the stone wall. I'm going to mix the real red with the real green and make some real brown. So I'm probably going to add some black to this too to make it more realistic looking for stones. So bear with me as I start putting these in. In New England, stone walls were used to keep in the cows. The cows would not jump over the stone walls. And also to delineate whose land is whom's. Say that 5 times fast. Whose land is whom? I'm filling in the crevices of the stone wall with black for shadow and space between the rocks. As you know, if you really look closely at a stone wall, there are dark spaces between the rocks. So I'm very carefully trying to fill these in. It's always better to do, I'm doing this backwards, it's always better to fill in smaller spaces first. That way there you can paint a little faster without having to slow down and really be detailed about what's going on in your painting. So I've changed my brush so that I'm using a smaller one in order to get in and out of the crevices here and add detail to my rock garden, rock wall. And I'm going at this kind of slow, but yet I want to get it done before my time is up. So if I seem to be in a rush, please forgive me. I'm trying to talk and work at the same time here. So there we go. We're pretty much set with doing the rock wall. Doesn't look too bad. I kind of added white onto my rocks to add texture, and now I'm going to mix a little black with a little brown, the red and the green, and make them a brown. And I'm going to fill in the ground where we're putting fresh mulch down so that the garden looks very well tended. And it emphasizes where the garden begins and where the yard ends. Plus it's helpful. I don't need David mowing over my garden. Granted, I don't really think he would, but the mulch helps. So I also learned this morning that Leif Erikson discovered Americas on October 9th, about 500 years before Columbus came around, except Leif decided to leave and didn't stick around to colonize the place for the Scandinavians, this place. So if you know any indigenous people or descendants thereof, be kind, give them gifts. If it wasn't for their ancestors, we wouldn't be here either, because they knew how to grow the corn and grow the food in our environment in order to help us live. So that's my 5-minute mark. I've got to hurry up and move on this just a little bit faster. And I'm finding it really hard to pay attention to what I'm doing and talk at the same time. So if sometimes I feel if I sound a little stunted or choked up, that's the reason why. I'm still trying to find my comfort level in doing the YouTube videos. Now I'm going to work on putting in chrysanthemums, which are fall favorites, and I've switched over to a smaller brush. Basically, I'm going to keep this real simple and just make circles to resemble bushes. Now I have to be really careful not to get the browns of the stone wall or my mulch into my bush. I don't know, I might put in some, I think they're called jack-o'-lanterns. They're little orange plants that come up in the fall as well. It depends. It depends on a lot of things. And there are orange chrysanthemums. Actually, mix a little more red with that. Make it a darker orange. There we go. They almost do look like pumpkins, but a lot of the same shapes and same color combination. Put a little black and red to make a rust color for this other chrysanthemums. Well, I'm finishing up my painting for today, adding a few more leaves. What I did to the flowers, I added white with the yellow to make a highlighted little flower, each individual, and added white to the purple and little brighter orange and yellow to the oranges, red and yellow to the oranges, and a little more red and orange and yellow for the red ones, the rusted color ones. And now I'm going to add my emoji because I love gardening and I'm glad that it's a nice sunny day. I can wear my shades and we'll call this good. Thank you for joining me at the Creative Hand Art Channel, and I hope to see you next week. Bye!